What's going on, everybody? It's going to be a little bit of a weird episode today. Today's recipe is completely inspired by one ingredient that I had lying around in my fridge for about a week now. And that's this. When I think of pears, I think of Korean barbecue. Nani? Nani? I'm going to say that under no circumstances will I ever profess that I am an authentic cook. What I am is an adaptive cook. And for me, one of the base ingredients for a Kalbi Marinade is Asian pear, or in this case, pear. Good enough, right? So before I take you guys further into the kitchen, let's get ready. So the next star of this entire recipe is this. And this is some Miami cut short ribs that I picked up from Sanigan's Market. What a Miami cut short rib is, or an LA cut short rib, they're kind of the same thing. Basically what they've done is they've taken the entire side of beef there and they've cut it across the bones. So basically what you're getting is very thin cross sections of what a beef rib would be. And then you also have something that's called an English short rib. And that's where you take the entire rib and instead of cutting across, you're cutting along with the rib and you're cutting pieces off of it. So you've got a long rib with meat surrounding it. But these are super thin, as you can see, and they're perfect for grilling. So the basis of this marinade is going to be one pear. This is a d'Anjou pear. It has a nice, beautiful green color. It's a little bit firm to the touch. It'll be sort of like a Bartlett pear, but a little less mealy. It's got a nice sort of floral, sweet, pear-like scent, but it's not overpowering. It's going to be perfect for this sort of bastard Korean marinade. And then, it wouldn't be a Korean marinade without some garlic, onions, and we've got some mirin, which is a sweet rice cooking wine, soy sauce, which I buy in bulk and put in these wonderful squeeze top containers, and this is gochujang. It's got a deep, fiery note. It's a little salty. It's got a lot of umami. It's got this sort of light sweetness. And on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is Thai craziness, I'd say roughly a 5 on my scale. And finally, we have sesame oil. Give it a bit of a sharpen. This little guy is a Breville stick blender that just so happens to have a food processor attachment. First things first, we're going to take this pear, cut along the sides, and we're just gonna make our life and our food processor's life a little easier by cutting this into slightly smaller pieces. And in the food processor. So, one of the interesting things about Asian food is normally I'm a very precise cook. I think that recipes are better when everything is in grams and milliliters as opposed to cups, especially when it comes to things that are easily compacted. I think about things in ratios, but for some reason when it comes to Asian food, I just kind of wing it. So we just took the end off. We're gonna cut it just in quarters. Peel off that, cut these in quarters. So we're gonna get a little bit of garlic here. Actually, a lot of garlic. I've got 6 big cloves. And what we're gonna do is we're not gonna bang our hand against it. We're just gonna take our knife and we're going to apply a little bit of body pressure to this entire thing. It's a lot safer. Firstly, because you're not applying pressure to your knife. I've actually cut myself that way, just kind of mimicking all of the Jamie Olivers out there in the world. It's dramatic. It's great for TV, but just a little bit of pressure. And what we're doing here is just pushing the garlic out of its skin. We're going to go for the ends there. So you can do this without a food processor. All you really need is a box grater over here. And it's gonna take a little bit extra time. You might burn your eyes out because of the onions that you're going to be grating, but you know, at the end of the day, if you don't want to spend the money on a food processor, you're not going to use it that often, box grater. We're going to give it a little squirt of soy sauce. Remember what I said about me winging it with Asian food? This is just kind of one of those, you add a little bit, you give it a taste, and then you re-season. Take a spatula. This is one of my favorite tools, a little silicone spatula just to scrape down the edges. If you don't have mirin, you can easily get away with doing something like soaking a bunch of raisins and then in water, and then after all of the water has come out of the raisins, you can take the raisin water, maybe blend the raisin water a little bit, add some salt, put a splash of vodka if you really want that alcohol flavor, and there you go, mirin replacement. We're gonna put roughly 2 teaspoons, about 2 heaping tablespoons. I really like that gochujang flavor. All right. Almost forgot about the sesame oil. And now just a little bit of brown sugar. I bought roughly a pound of short ribs. Take the sauce and cover, just give it a little bit of massage, put your hands in it. And now we're going to put it in the fridge for 24 hours. Okay, so we did end up barbecuing the ribs the next day, but it was way dark. And there was no way that I was going to end up bringing a light fixture up to the barbecue terrace. This has been an interesting journey. So I'm very much learning a whole bunch of skills to basically pull this thing together, talking to the camera work itself, and then finally the editing. It's like if you were very good at fireside storytelling and all of a sudden you wanted to write a book, but you needed to learn how to read, learn how to write, and use a pen. And I'm still trying to hone in on what exactly and how exactly I want to show my life as a foodie. We've had 2 episodes of me in the kitchen with a very weird perspective, let's be perfectly honest here. So I'm very much honing a series of skills here, and if you believe that it takes 10,000 hours to become a master in your craft, then I need to do it 3 times over as quickly as possible. And the only way that I know how to get better at a skill is to just keep on doing it. It's going to sound cheesy, but I'm going to enjoy the journey as much as wherever this destination is. So thanks so much for joining in today. Like this video if you thought it was cool or interesting. Subscribe if you want to follow along with all sorts of new foodie content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay hungry. Bye!